Hey everybody, I'm back today for Cut File Chaos. This is a video series I do with my good friend Natalie Dill, and in this series we have one focus. Let's use our cut files. I almost always use a cut file from Cut to You. That is my one-stop shop cut file location, and today is no different. I'm going to be using this beautiful cut file with the mushrooms and the little sentiment, "Stay Wild." I have these two photos of Logan, and this is pretty much my page plan. I'm going to be working with 49th and Market products. I have a collection of nature study and curators botanical and curators meadow and vintage artistry hike more. I just went ahead and combined what I had of all of those collections all together, and I'm going to go ahead and back the cut file with those pattern papers. For my background today, I'm going to be using one of the ledger papers from nature study. So I didn't want white. I wanted something that was a little bit darker so that my cut file and papers and all the woodsy things we're going to use today would kind of pop off the page. And I decided I really liked this ledger pattern. It has a little bit of distressing to it, but it's not it doesn't have like a really strong pattern on it. So I'm going to decide where I want my backed cut file and my photos. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack my cut files and the photos down. So I am not adhering these really good onto my page. I want to kind of hold their spot, but I also want to be able to lift up the edges because I'm going to tuck lots of things around them and underneath them. I don't want to lose my page design, though. I want to make sure that I have that design kind of set. I know where I want my photos. I know where I want the cut files. I'm just going to tack them down. And once I have those all done, you can see what I mean by that. So my photos, I'm just put a little bit of adhesive towards in the middle of the photo, the edges. There's lots of room there for me to tuck things down and around. And I'm going to be tucking lots of things around that top mushroom cut file and around my photos. I'm going to start with the Nature Study ephemera pack, and I'm going to pull a bunch of frames out. So I'm not using the frames that are on the pedestals. There are a lot of frames in the Nature Study ephemera pack and in the Nature Study collection. I want to be able to use a bunch of them on this page. So I'm going to kind of separate them out from the rest of the ephemera pack. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut them into pieces. Most of them I think I just cut in half, and then I'm going to do exactly what you see here. So I'm going to tuck them underneath the mushrooms above my photo. I'm going to have them overlapping. They are basically going to provide a nice layered base for the cut file mushrooms, and then I'm going to also layer more die cut and laser cut elements on top so that when we're all finished, we're going to pretty much have almost like a scene, and the mushrooms are going to, the mushroom cut file and then other elements from these collections are going to be part of that scene. But I'm going to start with these frames. So I'm going to get these frames into place where I like them. Then I'm going to have to get them out of there, pull them out, and then glue them down. I'm not going to make you watch me do all this, but that's basically what I ended up doing because I wasn't sure how I was going to like them. So I wanted to make sure that it looked good in my head, so I was hoping it would look good on paper. And so you can see this is where I'm going to put these frames. And then once I have them in place, now I have to like get them all out from underneath those areas and tape them down. Oops. Next, I am going to come in with the laser cut elements from Curator's Meadow. I have both Curator's Meadow and Curator's Botanical in with everything else. And so what I'm going to do, initially I had thought I was going to mix in more collections. So I started with the Curator's Botanical Laser Cut Elements, and I thought I was going to need to come in with more than that. But honestly, I found everything I needed in this one set of laser cut elements. I found all the mushrooms, I found the cute little chipmunk, I found moss. So what I actually ended up doing is I'm going to just go through these laser cut elements and I'm going to create pretty much my whole scene. And I love how this turned out. So now I'm just going to go through and adhere all of these die cuts and laser cut elements down. I think this whole layout really makes me happy. I think it turned out so beautiful. So these are photos of our family photo shoot last year. So I still have some of those fall photos from last year to Scrapbook. And then I have all of Logan's senior pictures that I just got to Scrapbook. So we're going to have lots of fun, masculine Logan pages coming to my channel because I'd really like to get all these photos done. As I am attaching these laser cut die cuts to my page, I am also going ahead and adhering the title, the mushrooms at the top, and my photos down better. So I'm going to tuck the things under that I want to tuck, and then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the cut files and get them into place. So that by the time this is finished, they are good and adhered down to my page. Next, I have this gorgeous Happy Box from Scrap and Happy Studio. This box coordinates with the 49th and Market Nature Study. It also coordinates with the Vintage Artistry Hike More. It also coordinates with Curator's Botanical and Curator's Meadow. Those 4 collections really mesh and coordinate and look so good together. That's why I kind of pulled them all into the same collection. So I have this one giant collection. So I am going to go through all these flares. So the whole box comes with both canvas flares and epoxy flares. So it's the large epoxy flares, small epoxy flares, lots of canvas flares. I haven't used one of them yet, and I was so excited to go ahead and grab them, and I'm going to use a bunch on this layout. I think I ended up using 7 in total, mostly because these flares aren't all words, so I don't like a ton of words on my pages, so I just chose 3 that had little sayings that I thought would work really well with my photos and complement the page. And then there were lots of little epoxy and canvas flares that had images on them, and they were so cute. And they added the perfect little extra something to my scene up at the top. So you're going to see me kind of use those as well up and across the top of my photos. I will go ahead and leave links to any products down below that I can find still available in the shop. So things like this Happy Box, if it's still available, any of the embellishments that I used, I will absolutely link up the Cut to You cut file I used on my layout because I think that is a fabulous one. I love it. For last little details, I grabbed some glossy accents. I'm going to put some little almost like dew or little drops of rain, or I don't know what you'd want to call them, on some of the mushrooms. I also filled in all of the little polka dots on some of the mushrooms with some glossy accents. And then, in addition to the glossy accents, I am going to scatter some sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps around my scene and around the bottom area of my title. I am using Twig and Twine sequins, which are lovely, just neutral, creamy colors. Beautiful with this line as well. And that's what we're going to call this layout all done. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Make sure to head over and check out Natalie's channel. She has a fun school layout to kick off school-themed week with the school hops coming on Wednesday. Talk to you all again soon. Bye.